You're listening to the Bulldog Insider podcast, sponsored by Essentia Health.
Here, our hobbies become our work, and our work becomes our passion. But when joint pain or injuries keep us from doing what we love, it can affect our entire way of life. That's why we meet these challenges head on. Whatever your good day looks like, we'll find it together. This is Essentia Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, like nowhere else. Visit essentiahealth.org.
Hi everyone, Matt Wellens from the News Tribune and the Rink Live. We have a bonus interview segment of the Bulldog Insider podcast brought to you by Essentia Health. I caught up recently with former Bulldogs forward Katerina Mrazova. You may know her better as Katka. She helped the Czech Republic clinch its first ever Olympic berth during qualifying November 11th through the 14th. I spoke with her early one morning here in Duluth recently. Let's catch up with Katka. Welcome to a bonus segment of the Bulldog Insider podcast brought to you by Essentia Health. Joining me via Zoom from across the Atlantic. It's pretty early in the morning, my time, 6 a.m. I think it's 1 o'clock over there. It's one of my favorite Instagram follows. But she's also, I don't know, can we say this yet? Are you officially an Olympian or not?
I would not say officially we made it, but it's still gonna be a nomination for that later. So everyone's gonna battle for the spots again. So I wouldn't say officially yet.
All right, we'll do the same thing then that we did with Emma Soderberg. Joining us is Katerina Mrazova. You all know her better as Katka. We won't call you an Olympian yet, even though you're pretty close. Katka, still, how does it feel to have, Olympian so close to being attached to your name after all these years of hard work? And, what's it mean for the Czech Republic to finally, break through and get into the Olympics?
Yeah, it means a lot. It was definitely a special moment when we made it after so many years. This was my fourth qualification. So I know for our captain, it was the fifth qualification. So we have a lot of players that have been on the team for a long time. And it was a special moment for all of us, for the whole Czech, made it for the first time in history. So I think it's pretty special. And the road that we had during the tournament, the qualification was pretty good.
Any nerves? What was the feeling going into qualifying last weekend with you're the host, and we saw with Germany that doesn't guarantee anything that you could just breeze through or anything. What was the feeling like going into qualifying?
Yeah, going into the qualification, we knew we will be under the pressure since we were hosting, and of course, family and all the fans were watching. So we were under the pressure a little bit, but this qualification compared to qualification before, I think coming into that, I felt more confident than before, and I really believe in our team that we can do it, and that we have a really good chance. And coming into that, we knew that the games won't be easy, and we just focused on the process. We didn't want to focus at the end that we are gonna go to Olympics. So the main thing what we wanted to do, it was focusing on the process, taking it game by game, period by period, shift by shift. So that was the goal for us, and I think we did really good.
You guys had a pretty strong showing at Worlds there. You got tripped up once you got into the tournament play, but was that a confidence builder? Did that kind of fuel your team going into qualifying, how Worlds turned out?
Yeah, after the Worlds, even before, we knew that we have a really good team and then we can achieve big things. And playing against Finland, we really believe that we can beat them. And I think we went into the game with confidence, and obviously it didn't turn up the way how we wanted, but that's hockey. And looking back at the tournament, I think we did a really good job not talking about the last two games, that's how it ended. But otherwise, I think we did really good job in bringing that confidence that we know that we can play against Finland and even other countries, that we are a really good team. And I'm really looking forward to what we can achieve with this team.
I was going to say the last few games after Finland, it's almost like you're playing consolation games there at the World, and that can be tough. You mentioned you've been through 4 Olympic qualifyings already. You said your captain, this was her 5th qualifying.
Yes, this was my 4th. First one was starting in China. Then the next one was in Germany, Switzerland, and Czech. And I was just talking to our captain, and I was thinking that was her 4th qualification too. And she was like, "No, this is my 5th." I was like, "Oh my God, really?" And she's like, "Yeah." So finally, I'm like really happy, like like what we have been through, and how much like we worked for it through the all year. So not just for us, but of course like for the girls that played before us, and just really happy when we are right now, and really looking forward to it.
What was that feeling like 4 years ago? I believe you were taking on Lara there in Switzerland in qualifying. I think Coach Kroll still remembers missing you and Lara for a series against the Badgers. It still comes up every once in a while for her. Of if we only had Katka and Lara in that series, it would have been so different. Coaches just can't let go of those tough losses sometimes. But for you, what was that? That seemed like the time where you were really close, and that was the moment where it looked like the Czechs were going to break through. And I'm wondering how that experience maybe then fueled, you know, Olympic qualifying for you this time around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that qualification was obviously hard one. Back in the time, it was only 8 teams, so now it expanded to 10 teams to Olympics and even the World Championship. So we ended up with the strongest team at the qualification, which was Switzerland, and I feel like it was always us that we had the strongest opponent. But anyway, playing in Switzerland, obviously against Lara, we knew it's gonna be hard. Again, I feel like we were kind of coming into the tournament that we have a really good chance. And but looking back now, I don't think we were that prepared for the games against them. I don't know. Just trying to remember, almost all the goals that they score were in the power plays, which I think like 5-on-5, it was pretty even, or maybe sometimes we were a little bit better, but we were kind of missing the experience for playing against team like Switzerland and scoring on the goals in the power plays, and that's what they did and how they beat us that time. And playing in Lara, it's competing against the friends. It was hard, but of course really good friends off the ice, on the ice. But when it came to Olympics, I had to go to the side, but it was really fun, and of course it was another experience to take for the next qualification. So I think we learned from that, and took some things for this qualification.
Have you heard from Lara since qualifying and such? Has she reached out to you yet since the Olympic qualifying to congratulate you or anything?
Yeah. She sent me a text saying congratulations, and I already saw her back in Sweden. So of course she congratulated me, and we talked about it before we went, and she wished us a good luck, and I think she's like really happy for us. We are really good friends, and of course when you can compete against friends, it's make it more fun, more challenging and stuff. So of course, like I would feel the same for her, like if they would be in this position. So I'm really happy to see that how she felt about it, and I really appreciate her.
We've seen Lara in the Swiss program take that step from, having to continually fight through qualifying to kind of locking up a spot. We've also seen Sweden, slide back down and such, and now they're back in. I'm just wondering for the Czech program though, to finally break through, and you've competed in worlds and such. to finally break through and have this Olympic experience now. What do you think it does for the future of your program?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see if we are ready for that. Like, we got some numbers for from the media, how many people watch the game, and I think it was around, on average, around 200 or a little bit 200,000. So I think it was pretty good. I think everyone was really shocked how many people viewed that game. And for the future of the women's hockey, I think we can attract or like more introduce the women's hockey, because I think it's still new in the Czech when they still see just the men's hockey. And I think when they see the women's hockey at the Olympics, they are gonna change their mind a little bit, or thinking of the women's game how it is, and hopefully it attract more little girls that gonna start and wanted to play hockey. And just really excited for that, and hopefully our program is prepared for that. That might be after the Olympics, more girls might start to play hockey. So I think it's going to be really important to be ready for that, and manage it somehow, like to get a little bit into it, in Czech. So hopefully we can see that.
Katka, looking back at your time at UMD, how do you feel that helped you grow as a hockey player and get you to this point?
Yeah, looking back at the UMD, it was such a great experience. It gave me a different view of hockey, how to prepare for the games. Like preparing not just my game, just also preparing for the opponent, taking and professional level how it can be. Coming into that, I had no clue, and this was really eye-opening to me. And just I was preparing for the every game, every week, like different little bit. It just that was a really good experience, and I'm really happy I could go through that. And yeah.
We've seen a lot of Bulldogs go on to play in Sweden in the pro league there, and it seemed to really help a lot of players. I think of Sid Morin using it to get to her first Olympics and such, and Sid Bratz over there. And I personally just love seeing all the beautiful photos that you all post from Sweden on Instagram all the time. That's why I make sure to follow everyone that's in Europe. This is me stuck in the Midwest, living vicariously through all of you of the beauty of Europe and such. But the Swedish Pro League, playing with Lara and everything now, how has that helped you grow as a player?
Mm-hmm. It helped me a lot. It's of course, like it's a different country. I've been traveling a lot, so I think this is like another experience. And coming from US, playing on the small sheet, everything is a little bit faster. So it helped me in one way get the thinking a little bit faster. And now the sheet is back to like Olympic size, when it's like more wider and bigger. So it's more creative. It helped me in more creative way. So I think the Swedish league here, it's a good way maybe to go like after college, or I think they take it here pretty professionally too, and just enjoying every moment. Not sure how long I will continue playing hockey, so I'm just really enjoying every moment, every year I can spend on the ice.
Is it fair for you and Lara to be on the same team back in Sweden now? Seriously, like you two tear it up in that league, don't you?
Of course it's fair. No, the chemistry we have on the ice, it's something special. I never had like the same thinking with anybody else on the ice. Like I know what is she gonna do, and I think she can read what I can do. So it makes really good chemistry between us. And I think another thing that's it, that we are really good friend of the ice. So it's another thing that kind of help us. And it's really good to play with her and enjoy, and every time I'm on the ice with her.
All right, so some quick hits to close this out. You start during the World Championships while you were all in quarantine in Calgary there. You started something with your trick shots and such in the hotel room. Everyone then's trying to follow on Instagram, at least among the Bulldogs. Have you ever broken anything? I love whenever you do your trick shot videos on Instagram. I think that's how I first stumbled upon your Instagram. You had some crazy stick stuff going on there. Have you ever broken anything in a hotel room trying these trick shots?
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I don't think I broke anything. Maybe just little scratches, but don't tell them, please. Yeah, no, I was really careful. Of course, I wanted to be respectful, but maybe a little scratches somewhere. But no, I didn't break anything.
I was more worried about everyone else that was trying to follow you up there and everything. I think I had talked to Nita Job Smith afterwards, and it was like, all right, we got to try and continue it. I'm guessing that quarantine was pretty boring. When you post those skill videos and trick shot videos on social media, how many takes is it? Are those really like one take, or you got to do multiple takes?
Some of them are on the first, some of them are on the four. I think which one was it that took me a little bit longer? I think it was the one from the top to the table. I think it was like 6 try, but pretty good it was, I would say. I would not take, I don't know if I would have that much patience to do it. So yeah, I think it wasn't too hard. I think it could be more challenging, and I think most of the people could do that probably.
What's your favorite city in Europe to play in?
That's a tricky question. I would say it might be, I've been traveling a lot, but always nice to play back home when I would play in a small when I was growing up and playing in my hometown, I would say. So it would be Colleen.
When was the last time you got a chance to play there?
I'm every time I go home, I kind of practice with the boys there. But the last time I actually played a game, it's been a couple of years, so would be really nice to play there again sometime.
What's the one thing, if you do make that final Czech Olympic roster, what's the most important non-hockey thing you have to bring with you to Beijing?
Non-hockey thing. It would be probably my sleeping pillow.
Okay.
My pillow, because I kind of have like a small pillow, taking it every time with me. So it's been like a traveling one. So I would that would be a non-hockey thing. And besides that, let's stay with that.
Yeah, I also got a pillow that I can't fit in my bag when flying, but it's a big memory foam pillow. But I throw it in the car whenever I'm driving anywhere for the Bulldogs. All right, last one. One thing from Duluth you'd like to export to Europe, to transport to Europe. One thing you really miss from Duluth that you'd like to bring over to Europe.
One thing I miss from Duluth, well, that would be a lot of things. I'm not really like a thing person. I'm more like a person. But one thing, yeah, tough to say. I don't know. I
You
actually don't know.
already got Lara Stalder playing along with you
I
there. You got some former teammates already over there. So
like so many teammates here. So no, it's really fun to see how many people from Duluth we have here. So that just talk about how good hockey program it is in Duluth, and it's fun to play against friends all the time. So for sure.
Katka, what's the timetable now for the Czech national team? Do you guys know when they'll be naming that final Olympic roster?
Actually, I don't know yet. We have another Zoom meeting next week, so I think that we will know more information. But since it happened not that while ago, I think no one really, how I said at the beginning, we weren't really looking for the Olympic. We were more focusing on the process, on the moment we were. So I think now all the information and everything is coming up. So I'm pretty excited about that and see what's going to happen.
All right. Thank you so much for joining me, Katka, on the podcast here. It's great catching up with you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Make sure to check out our episode with Emma Soderberg to hear about her experience at Olympic qualifying with Sweden. They are also back in the Winter Games in Beijing. The podcast is off for Thanksgiving and will return to full episodes the week after. Bulldog Insider comes out every Thursday, and you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Subscribe and rate us. Thanks to our sponsor, Essentia Health, and for more Bulldogs hockey coverage, visit therinklive.com and DuluthNewsTribune.com. Thanks for listening.